Well, good morning, Mark. Want to take a moment here and review the lesson or the discussion we had the other day about the golf swing. Now, when we take a look at the golf swing here, this was the first initial point that we started off with. Now, when we kind of looked at this, we kind of broke everything down. And one of the thoughts being that as you go to take the club away, you can, one simple thought or one simple position that I would tell you when you look at this. I want you to pay close attention to two things. One, look at his left shoulder. And two, watch how fast his club comes off the ground. Bam. I mean, you're 6 inches away from the ball. The club's coming up off the ground. Two, it's almost like the left shoulder's trying to pull it back rather than that right shoulder kind of pushing the ball back or pushing the club back and allowing the club to come up and rotate up. Now, not a bad position here overall, but I think as we talked about, and this swing was really kind of a step-by-step swing when we took it back and up. So as we look at the top here, and what we try to do is, try to get you into a better position, which consequently got into the club at a better position at the top. Now, even in this case here, Mark, I feel that this club is still too extended. You're bowing the wrist too much in this case to try to get that club, in some cases, back to parallel. You don't necessarily need to do that. You need, at this point here, get the club to right here. As you can almost see at this point, it's almost the hands are lifting the body up. You're no longer turning at this point to get all the way back there. And it becomes just hands getting back into that top of that golf swing. So when we got to the end of the lesson, this is more of what it looked like, and this is what I would show you here. This is you actually swinging, not taking it slow at one time, but it's still this position where kept it nice and low, coming back and feeling that transition, turning up, getting up and over that left shoulder. And this literally right here to here, while the club head's in a good position, better than what it was in the past here, as you took it up, I still feel that we don't necessarily need to go all the way up. I still think that little extra separation at the top is what causes from time to time to get stuck a little bit. Now, this was essentially a good golf swing as we come down and as we came through the shot, but I still feel that, if we could get where we didn't get that left hand taking the club up even higher, getting that little right there. Maybe getting it literally to right there. So in some cases for you, it's going to feel like you're taking a three-quarter golf swing. But from the side view, this is what it looks like. I like it to right about there, and that's a great position. What we can do without is what I'm going to show you here, essentially, as we look at this, is going to be, let's see, and we talked about Steve. We're going to flip Steve back around here and make him a lefty here. But watch if Steve, we talked about feeling like you're taking it up and out like Steve here. Here, look at the difference there between your swing and Steve's swing. Okay? Look at the position of this driver head right here. That's what we want to see. We want to see that transition. That's at that club left, in this case, the right arm being to 10 o'clock, if we were looking, or maybe 2 o'clock, pointing, looking at if we lined a clock up on the side of your position, but having the right arm being up at 2 o'clock, and then consequently the club pointing through at 11. In this case here, you're flat and parallel to the ground, whereas I want you to be almost at a 45, even a maybe 50-degree angle, in relation to the ground here. Big difference between you and Steve there. And that was kind of the thing as we discussed this with this lesson for you, thinking about Steve Stricker taking the club up, down, and through, and trying to get into that position. Now, I'm going to keep Steve up there on the side and still show you again. For you, it was right there. This was the practice. Almost feeling for you, you wanted to feel like you're going out with it just a hair, and getting the club to right there in that position. Right there, that mirrors Steve there on the left-hand side. And that's the position we want to take the club down and through with time after time. Now, as you do this and as you work through it, that's kind of thoughts that, I said even, maybe placing a club or placing a ball back here 10 to 12 inches back, and feel like you're, keeping that club low into the ground and then going up, down, and through with it. So it's kind of the thought that we were thinking about and what we try to replicate time after time. Now, ideally, if Steve brings it down here, and this is when we analyze this. This is what we're looking. Let's look at this leg here. This left leg position here. Here, almost very similar in this case of what we want to see. Left heel just starting to come up off the ground. Right there. Right there. Club at impact. Club at impact. Left shoulder being down. Right shoulder being slightly up. Right there, left shoulder being down, right shoulder slightly being up, having a slight bow. And we've got a little more of a bow here, but still, for the most part, feeling that transition down and through your shot. And one thing you have gotten better with here, Mark, and what we see time after time, is that transition or that turn of the shoulders. This is where you were before. Taking it up. And this one here, you almost seem like you're picking the club up and really trying to get down and through the shot. And it was almost a compilation of trying to tie things together and initially try to, put together 3 or 4 things in order to swing the golf club. Here, now we're trying to just be very simple, swing back and swing through, but if we can keep that club, that swing just a little bit tighter and or a little bit shorter into the backswing, right, maybe right to here, then I think that's going to be the position that works best for us time after time. Down, through, feel our transition down and through that position. Now, when we slow it down here, we're not seeing as much of the bow, and that means that left hand's not as dominant, or which, obviously we both know that you can't be that because of your baseball, your softball playing days, trying to get into that position. But that's what we're trying to do. And, I said, trying to feel that sidearm pitch or that skipping rock position as you turn down and through, but having that left elbow come into the side, down through impact, allowing your shoulders to turn through, allowing your body to rotate through, down and through the target. Now, additionally, as you worked on it here, obviously I still want the feet together drill, but ideally for you, I think the focus is going to be, like we said, going back, keeping it a lot lower with the club going back. Feel almost like you're going outside like Stricker there, keeping it short. Because, watch at this case here. You can watch Stricker as he takes the club back here in this case. Low, 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 then up. And for you, that's what we want. We want low, 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 then up. Turn back, down, and through. Now, if you have any questions, Mark, I want you to give me a call. 314-724-6539, or shoot me an email at michaelwyattgolf@gmail.com. Thank you, sir.